As Africans, we think that beliefs are factual. From religious extremists to our parents to our politicians, we've all contributed to creating a fertile ground on which Africans can be scammed based on beliefs. From flying pastors to glass-eating followers, what is actually the impact of this on African developing countries? And I'm thinking of this economically and socially. In this video, I debunk the raw belief in Africa, the cost of religion, and why a resource-rich continent is also the most religious but remains the poorest continent in the world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9.
Africans on Africa. Let's go.
My name is Avin Munashikatsere. I'm an African social psychologist, and here's my analysis of beliefs in Africa. Let's get into some trouble here. What is a belief? Are we as Africans actually conscious of the fact that a belief is called a belief because it is not a fact, but also lacks any proof or evidence? Our conception of a belief as a fact rather than the reality that it is, at least in my opinion, has kept us in fear of going outside of the box, consider other realms of possibilities, and instilled a fear of masters whose powers requires no evidence, utilizing fear to keep us from realizing alternative potentials. I am not challenging any belief here, neither am I against any belief. But think of it this way. If I actually was, wouldn't that scare you into demonizing me rather than propelling you into actually engaging with me? Let us free our minds for a bit and actually dare to just have a conversation. The role of beliefs and the role that beliefs play is a significant role in providing explanations to phenomena that our minds cannot even comprehend. Beliefs are a source of life, and beliefs give a template on how we live. They provide an explanation for the existential given in the form of death. Look at this map. These are called blue zones. These are regions where people live longer and healthier lives. Beliefs are positively linked to blue zones. But again, Africa, with the most believers, is the continent with the lowest life expectancy at 64 years. And yes, these facts are presented as not important because they are not as calming as beliefs are. How do we explain beliefs emptying the coffers, personal coffers of people? How do we explain beliefs undermining other beliefs? How do we explain beliefs putting nations into conflict? And the rot of differences among Africans? And the shocking pains of the Shakahola massacre. For those who don't know, the Shakahola massacre happened in Kenya, and it occurred when a group of believers who were led by Pastor Paul Mackenzie were driven into the forest to await the end of the world and meet Jesus.
Wanaambia wako hapa. Niwaambia mpe simu niongee naye. Hakuna kitu wanafanya. Ndio kumbe walikuwa wameambiwa na mama yao. Akiwauliza yuko wapi? Waambieni yuko hapa. Kumbe watoto walikuwa shakufa.
They were encouraged to starve themselves to death, leading to the death of more than 59 people and 420 bodies at different stages of decomposition discovered upon Mackenzie's arrest. If the Shakahola incident actually shows the power of believing, please do allow me to ask, what makes us as Africans so prone to such levels of believing? But what makes us as Africans easy targets and victims of belief? In episode 8 of the podcast, Dr. Kolade asked a question that I want to ponder on again. Ever wondered why Africans build more churches than factories? Approximately 13 churches are constructed in Africa on a daily basis, and this amounts to about 4,745 churches on an annual basis. Nigeria, Tanzania, Malawi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo have seen the most growth with regards to churches in the last 5 years, with Tanzania experiencing a 62.5% increase in congregations between 2020 and 2021. While quantifying factory construction in Africa is difficult, we can ascertain that factories and industries have crippled in the past decade. According to the South African Federation of Trade Unions, they actually put forward that African countries have experienced long-term structural decay in the last decade, and this has been characterized by factory closures, job losses, and reduced capacity utilization. Now, the deindustrialization has been driven by severe energy shortage, load shedding, poor logistics, and also infrastructure failures, and intense competition from cheap imports. What point am I driving at here? Is the downfall of industry and the increase of churches a mere coincidence? I am not a firm believer in coincidence. the prosperity gospel and belief have taken over the prosperity that was guaranteed in the past by industries. Weirdly, the belief is only reserved and received by the poorest, and development is captured by those who preach the gospel. You can argue with this with the same cadence that was the relationship that Africa had with industry, but at least Africans had a chance to dip into the offering basket, so to speak. Don't argue with me. Just have a closer look at Africa. There is zero connection between prosperity and beliefs. Don't attack me on this, but just show me the evidence in the comment section. While you are at it, please also like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to also share the video. These are the little things that actually make a difference to us on the channel. Beliefs have taken the place of hope in Africa, with no need for validation. They have become the realities that are lived as facts, except if they're African beliefs, ironically so. Which is another set of beliefs that I know will be ready to talk about and put on the table soon. But for now, these are my thoughts, and I'm really interested to hear your thoughts as well. This has been Africans on Africa podcast.
Africans on Africa. Let's go.